Hello there, and welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Jacob, and thank you so much for attending my lecture on Pokemon biology. Joining me here in the classroom today, of course, is my wonderful teaching assistant, Mr. Curtis. How are you today, Mr. Curtis? I don't know what he's doing. Is he? Oh, I think he's running into the classroom on slow motion as if he was, like finishing a race in first place.
Oh, I thought he was trying to impersonate a train.
Yeah, it did sound a little bit like a train.
That's right. That's the crowds cheering. Oh, as we're here in class and class gets started. It's it's the number one class of the season and the number one professor of the world.
I don't know how to break this to him. It's gonna break his heart.
There's three of us here.
There's three of us here, and there's definitely no crowd.
There's three of us here.
But okay, hold on. Let me go ahead. We should sit down. Let me take attendance real quick. So when I say your name, everybody here in the classroom, please say here. Please say here. Okay. Corbin?
Here.
Okay, and that's it. Everybody's here today.
Very good. Very good. And then all the crowds of your adoring fans, Professor.
Yeah, but I mean, there's too many to name. There's too many.
Listen to them all.
For anyone listening, those are not crowds. I know Curtis is doing great Foley, but those are not crowds of people.
I mean, me and who's vicariously channeling the energy of the thousands of your slobbering fans, Professor.
Oh, slobbering?
Whoa.
What the fuck? Slobbering.
Wow, they might have rabies.
They're just salivating for your wisdom.
Well, then don't get too close to them. Okay. Well, you know what? Speaking of wisdom, I think it's time that, we do what we came here to do, which is, talk about Pokemon biology, and specifically today, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. We're learning about Dugtrio. Which is the quote-unquote evolved form of Diglett, and definitely not just three Digletts all squished together.
Oh, heavy quotes there. Because let me tell you something. As tasked last week, I have taken the liberty of, taking the liberty means you did it without asking. I took it upon myself. Wait, no, that still doesn't make sense. I was tasked. Is that better?
As charged.
I was tasked / commanded to write a summary or essay on Dugtrio, and
Corbin, and your command over the English language for the past couple of seconds has really made me excited for this essay.
Look, it's not an essay on English literature, okay? It's an essay on Dugtrio, and let me tell you, I can confirm it's not really an evolution. It's just a bunch of Digletts thrown together.
A bunch of Digletts thrown together. Although I think we will notice in the Pokédex entries there's some confusion or different sayings about what a Dugtrio actually is and how it's formed, because I can think of at least two different origins of a Dugtrio.
Yep.
That we'll find. Okay. But hey, why don't we go ahead and take a look at the Dugtrio itself? And I remember last time, you guys remember, you see this giant hole in the floor.
Yes, you did not clean that.
We did not fix it up because, I knew that we're going to have a Dugtrio this time, so why fix two holes when I could just fix one?
Yep.
Anyway, so here is Dugtrio.
Well, I don't see anything. You have to yell it louder. It's a big hole. It could be pretty far. I may not be able to hear you. Do you have a whistle or something?
I threw a Pokeball out. Like I normally do.
All right, watch your language.
You're right. I'm so sorry. This is a classroom with students, and I
was expecting it. I was expecting it to just come out of the dirt.
Okay. You know what? You know what? You're right. Here, let's take it back. I won't throw a Pokeball. Instead, I will stand upon my desk and summon the Dugtrio as if I'm calling forth a being from the depths, because
that's what I figured you would do. Let's go.
All right, rise forth to me, Dugtrio, in all of your great ground type splendor. Do try to aim for that.
Shaking.
I feel it moving.
Dugtrio, please aim for that spot that's already there. Okay, and there he bursts through a different hole in the ground, so I'm gonna have to.
Dude, Dugtrio, there's already a hole there, bud. There's already a hole there. You didn't need to do that.
All right, let's talk about Dugtrio. Can anybody tell me if you can? the difference between a Dugtrio and a Diglett?
I sure can. There's 3 Digletts now instead of 1, and that's it.
And we should also mention that Dugtrio is there's much more of the Dugtrio out of the ground than there is for the Diglett.
A little bit. Yeah.
So I believe it was only 8 inches of the Diglett were above ground. In this case, the Dugtrio, their max height ends up being 2 feet. 2 feet 4 inches. It's much bigger.
Boys. Long boys.
Yeah, and
long boy
must be wider. They're definitely wider too. A lot thicker.
Oh, girthier. They're girthier boys.
Yeah. So I guess it's more than just 3 Digletts. They're just 3 big Digletts.
They're 3 big Digletts. 3 big Digletts.
Sure. So this is actually some interesting. If you look at what the Dugtrio is doing now, do you guys see it bobbing up and down?
Yep, it keeps bobbing constantly. It kind of looks like a little push pop or something.
Corbin, would you happen to know why it's doing that?
I sorry, I'm recovering over a sickness, Professor.
That's fine.
Yes, I do.
You shouldn't have come to class if you're sick, but
that's okay.
Don't come and expose.
I don't need a mask or anything. Professor. I think Mr. Curtis has said that before that he's impervious to any illness. I don't know what that means, but
any illness that affects humans, I should say.
Like I've been tested before we got into the room. I coughed on him 3 times, and he just was like, "Yeah, keep it coming. I won't feel a thing." So we'll test that. See if he gets sick afterwards.
You wouldn't feel a thing immediately if you were affected by normal human illnesses.
Listen. You're not that type of doctor or a doctor at all. So shut up.
That's true.
Now,
Corbin, tell me.
Dugtrio
Smartass,
bobs up and
right?
down. Can you stop calling me names while I explain what's going on? So Dugtrio bobs up and down constantly in order to loosen up the soil, so it makes it easier to dig around in.
That is exactly correct, and I'm so glad that you knew that. I am now feeling a little bit better about this essay that's coming up.
Hell yeah!
So excellent job. I'm gonna go ahead and put Dugtrio back into the Pokeball, so it doesn't cause an earthquake here in the classroom.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be great. That would be terrible.
The professor's already mad as much as he is, or excuse me, not the professor. The principal's mad as much as he is. Because of the horrible shape of our foundation at this point. Mm-hmm. We've had so many Pokemon digging through the foundation for the sake of this class that I've had to spend quite a few weekends here reshoring up the foundations.
Well, I mean, you do that anyways. You come down here every weekend anyways.
Yeah, nobody asked you to do that.
I do. But
hey, glad you put that up because I don't think earthquake would end very well in this classroom. That's not something that you could just it's a hole or a window broken. Like that's like we have to find a new classroom.
Yeah,
like, that's bad. Yeah. That's bad news.
And can you imagine how loud and obnoxious it would be for the students listening at home to hear that horrible earthquake?
Oh my god! I mean, it wouldn't affect them at all. We would have to move different locations.
It would affect their ears and their listening pleasure, which let's be honest, it's paramount here.
Of course, yes.
But a very close second is reading the Pokedex entries. Is also, I would say, the second most important part of these lessons. So why don't I just go ahead and I start reading these Pokedex entries?
I think you should do that. You should do that.
Okay. All right. I think I'm going to start in the Kanto region. I think it's a wonderful place to begin. The first one here says, a team of Diglett triplets. It triggers huge earthquakes by burrowing 60 miles underground.
60 miles deep underground.
It says 60 miles underground. I would imagine that it means straight down.
Yeah, so I was looking into it a little bit, and yes, can confirm it goes about 60 miles underneath the earth, like straight down.
Oh, okay.
Oh, all right. How can you... What are your sources here, Corbin?
Knowledge and reading.
All right. Well, don't listen to a thing this man says.
Professor, the knowledge.
I am not a man. I am a boy.
Well, you better start acting like it.
I am a beautiful bouncing baby boy.
If you wanna pass this, you gotta be a man if you want to pass this class, or woman. I don't wanna.
That's not regulation. That's not. You don't have to be a man to pass this. You can be a kid. You can be a kid.
Well, I mean, you come in a kid, but when you leave,
you're a man.
You're a man. Or a woman.
The professor makes you an adult.
That's
Wait,
I don't like the way that sounds.
No, wait, I don't like how he said it.
The professor has made me an adult many times.
Okay, please move on.
I've taken this class.
Jesus.
This is my
Okay,
seventh.
okay,
I don't want to hear
okay.
about the professor making you a man. Please.
Okay, this next one here says a team of triplets that can burrow over 60 miles per hour. Due to this,
It likes the number 60. I'll tell
well,
you.
yeah. I mean, it makes the math easy.
60 miles deep, 60 miles per hour.
Exactly. Due to this, some people think it's an earthquake. I mean, is it not an earthquake?
Yeah, that was
If
kind
the
of
Earth's
confusing.
quaking, does it matter if the Diglett started it or the Dugtrio started it or
Upon
not?
doing my research, I found that kind of weird because, like, 1 second it says that it causes earthquakes, and then it says people think it causes earthquakes. I'm like, so which is it? Does it cause them or not?
And also, we've said twice now that this is a team of Diglett triplets, right?
Triplets, yes.
And when you think of a triplet, you think, three, people born at the same time, right? Coming from the same embryo. I don't know. I'm not I don't go into it that deep, but like, right?
Yeah,
so
that's how that works.
But it's three separate individual things, right?
Yeah.
That were just so that's what you would expect Dugtrio to be. It's three separate Digletts that were triplets.
Yes.
And became a team.
Yeah. There are three. I mean, more will be revealed, especially when I do my essay. But
all right.
There are three identical Digletts.
Supposedly.
Some people don't think so.
Yeah.
But
we'll talk about those people in a second. The last one from the Kanto region says, Diglett triplets that always travel together, known to burrow more than 60 miles underground and trigger quakes. It just says quakes. It doesn't put the earth in front of it. It assumes that you know that it's an earthquake.
Yeah, not a skyquake or a waterquake.
Yeah, or a I don't know. I can't think of another thing.
A windquake. That's what Mr. Curtis
Yeah,
has.
it's not a
Quaking and
windquaker.
shaking.
Yeah. That's what Mr. Curtis has when he farts. A windquake.
Ooh,
I love me some good fart humor. It's really the best comedy out there.
I know. Did I ever tell you I was 10? That's my favorite.
It's the highest form of
humor. Fart jokes. It doesn't get any better.
It doesn't. It can't.
Flatulently.
Farts are always funny. Every single time.
Okay, I'm glad we all agree on this topic. It's not why we're here. It's not what we're supposed to be talking about, but it's good that we did. All right, let's move on to the Johto region.
Wow, that was a long time talking about Kanto. Let me tell you.
Well, I mean, it's the best region. We'll move through the other regions a lot quicker. Its three heads bob separately up and down to loosen the soil nearby, making it making it easier for it to burrow.
Yeah.
That's a hard sentence to say. So yeah, we've already mentioned that, so we can move on. Extremely powerful. They can dig through even the hardest ground to a depth of over 60 miles.
Whoa!
Okay.
60 miles, by the way, is pretty crazy deep underground. Like, that's a very far distance.
That's far. That's far, man.
That's like from Pallet Town to like Saffron, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Roughly.
That's a good 60 miles, I'd say. Maybe closer to 50. That's a good 60 miles.
But that's crazy. It's crazy to think about that Dugtrio is that far underground.
But it could travel that far straight down. Like, that's like into the mantle of the earth. Like, that's wild. Yeah, I think so. How deep is the crust? I think the crust of the earth is 30 miles. I could be wrong.
Hold on.
No, I will confirm. You do your job.
Okay,
you do your job and teach.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. When I'm presented with a burning question, I have to
I did it. I looked it up on my Rotom laptop. The crust is the outermost layer of the planet, the cooled and hardened part of the Earth that ranges in depth approximately from about 3 to 44 miles. So it can dig all the way through the crust of the Earth. That's a long range.
So wait. So then what comes after that? What comes after the crust?
Mantle?
The mantle? Okay, so
the mantle's next.
It's safely within the mantle of the Earth.
Yeah. And here's another source that says the crust thickness averages at about 18.
What if it's a stuffed crust?
But it's only so it's only shut up. But it's only like it's only like 3 miles underneath the ocean, some of the deeper parts of the the planet. But yeah, on average, it's about 18 miles. These fuckers can dig 60. So yeah, they can go into the mantle of the Earth. That's wild.
No problem either. It's
no
like
issue.
At a constant speed of 60 miles per hour.
No
so
sweat.
it can get down there in 1 hour.
No problem. No problem.
Okay, I said we'd do this next part quicker, but we're very much not doing it quicker.
Nope.
Okay. The next one here says, these Diglett triplets dig over 60 miles below sea level. No one knows what it's like underground. Now, this is a very oddly worded sentence. I think what it's saying is no one knows what Dugtrio is like underground, and not that no one knows what it's like just being underground.
I'm pretty sure we have caves and people go splunking all the time. So
yeah, I mean, maybe we don't know what it's like. Maybe 60 miles underground.
Maybe not. But we can just follow the holes like by the Dugtrios, I guess.
Yeah. All right. That does it for the Johto region. Let's move on to the Hoenn region. Okay. This is the interesting part. All right. It says Dugtrio are actually triplets that emerged from one body.
There it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All
so
right.
what does this mean? What does this mean?
So
raise your hand, please, sir.
Hi.
If you could.
Here's my hand raised.
Yeah, Corbin, please go ahead and answer that question.
When I was doing my essay and I was doing my research about this, I was like, wait a minute. So then how does the evolution process work? Because a Dugtrio doesn't technically evolve. Is it just 3 Digletts coming together? Because that's how it sounded. But now this is confirmation. Its evolution process, it doesn't just get bigger or grow different parts like other Pokemon do. It splits into 2 more identical. So this is the first case, and maybe the only case that we know of so far, or at least in this class, where a Pokemon literally is cloning itself during evolution.
That is one definition. But however, it says triplets that sorry, I get so worked up about this.
It's okay, it's alright. It's angering, I know.
It says are actually triplets that emerged from one body, right?
Yeah.
As if they are being birthed is kind of the way I read it.
Yeah, but that would be children though. It says triplets. That means like it's like identical siblings, not birthing it.
So Diglett buds. That's how it reproduces. It buds like a plant.
Well, no. That's how it evolves. Dugtrio, still, like every other Pokemon out there that can breed, that can have babies, lays eggs. They all lay eggs, every single one.
Yes,
that's right.
So
I've seen it happen. It's quite an experience.
It's not reproducing by budding. It's still laying eggs. It just when it evolves, according to Professor Birch over in the Hoenn region, it just magically it just as Corbin said, clones itself. It clones 2 new Digletts that are not connected physically, but like connected through the magical power of teamwork.
That's not its children. If it reproduces and has an egg, that's its babies. During the evolution process, it just morphs into 2 more. It clones itself.
Corbin, I agree with you, and that's what I believe is the case, but it just, the way that this is written, right, and knowing what you know about triplets, right, when it says triplets that emerged from one body, it sounds as though they're being birthed.
I don't know. To me, it just sounds like it glows.
I'm like, how else do triplets come about? Yeah, they all emerge from one body.
Well, yeah. I mean, triplets and humans are usually one embryo that splits 3 ways. In this, it's like it's not like it's being it's not like all 3 are being birthed at the same time. It's a Diglett that literally just forms 2 extra that are identical. That's it. It's not birthing them. It's just just pop it out.
But it says triplets that emerged from one body. So you have one body, and then out of that body comes 3 different bodies.
No, you're wording it wrong.
No, triplets that emerged from one body.
Yeah,
triplets
it's saying
emerged
that
from one body.
It's forming 2 identical, thus
No, it's not
making
saying
triplets.
that.
Yeah.
You're saying that.
No, you're wrong. It's saying it's a triplet. It's a triplet that are that come from one body.
All right, hold on.
When you form 2 more identical Digletts from one, then it becomes a triplet because now there's 3. So that still makes sense grammatically. I see why it's confusing, But yeah.
All right. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys have your Pokedexes out. I mean, you're supposed to be reading along. But look,
I'm reading along.
I put it into the classroom chat board here. All right? Read that to me and tell me that it doesn't look like it's saying 3 things came from one body, therefore having in total 4 bodies.
Dugtrio are actually triplets merged from one body. As a result, each triplet thinks exactly like the other.
We haven't read that far yet, Mr. Curtis.
Well, hold on. Each triplet thinks like the other 2 triplets.
Okay,
so are there 3 triplets? So is that 3 triplets? Does that mean there's 9 Diglett bodies?
Sorry,
a triplet is what you call each member of the triplet.
That is true. That is true.
9 Diglett bodies.
Oh my god.
My brain.
Okay, so that's the equivalent of me saying this. Let's say I could clone myself and 2 more identical Corbins pop out. That's the equivalent of me saying Corbin is actually triplets that emerged from one body. If they're both identical to me, then we're all triplets. That's what that's saying. It's 3 from one body, me and those 2 others. I know it's worded really weirdly. I see why.
Okay, as long as you see it, I agree with you.
I see it.
That
it's
the real
stupidly
meaning,
worded.
I agree with you that the real meaning is that it's 1 and then it like clones itself twice and has 2 clones that come out.
Yes.
Wait, I thought there were 9 of them.
No.
Are there not 9 of them?
No.
Oh my god.
No, I get why it's confusing. It sounds like it's 1 birthing 3 or like producing 3. It's not. It's 1 producing 2, but that producing 2 forms a triplet with the original one being the 3rd. Boom. Got it.
Don't say boom like you fixed the sentence. It's still messed up completely.
You know what? I think I should teach. now.
Corbin,
listen.
I think I agree with the professor, Corbin. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you
Listen.
always do.
I'm just trying to do what a good professor does and have my students, think critically when they read. Even though this is in the Pokedex, we can still think critically and think about what it's saying. Because, hey, sometimes, and we may read later on, sometimes Pokedex doesn't know everything, all right? It doesn't know everything. Everything it does know is
Pokédex
fact.
Don't know everything.
Okay.
Okay, let's keep going. So I haven't even finished this entry yet.
God.
Dugtrio are actually triplets that emerged from one body.
What?
As a result,
No, I'm just kidding.
As a result, each triplet thinks exactly like the other 2 triplets. They work cooperatively to burrow endlessly.
Okay.
So this Pokemon is the Mole Pokemon, just like Diglett is, but I mean, let's be honest, it should be the power of teamwork Pokemon, because
That's right.
that's what drives this Pokemon.
They work together. So wait. So does it if you are allowed to carry 6 Pokemon, 6 Pokeballs with you at a time?
Yeah.
Does this still count as 1?
Yes.
You won't be able to fit them all
Okay.
because there's 9 of them.
No, there's 3.
All right, continue reading the entries, please.
All right. The last one here from the Hoenn region says, in battle, it digs to the ground and strikes the unsuspecting foe from an unexpected direction.
Ooh.
So not
Hit 'em from
only is
back,
the foe
Dugtrio.
not only is the foe unsuspecting, but it's also from an unexpected direction.
Ooh. With an unexpected part of Dugtrio.
I mean, but like, what do they mean unexpected direction? It has to be from the ground, right?
That's what you might think that. But Dugtrio it's
it
hiding
digs-
some wings under that earth. It's hiding some wings under the dirt.
Maybe nobody knows what it looks like underground.
Dugtrio use dig and then fly.
And scratch.
It can
and
happen.
scratch, so it has hands.
Yep.
All right, moving on to the Sinnoh region. There's only 1 here, so it'll be quick. Its 3 heads move alternately, driving through tough soil to depths of over 60 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
We know that. Impressive.
Well, it kind of describes here how Dugtrio digs, right?
Yeah, pushing with its heads instead of using its
Moving
claws.
its 3 heads alternately.
It punches. It basically just keeps headbutting the earth.
Yeah, it's very, very true. All right, that does it for the Sinnoh region. Let's move on. Unova, again, nothing. Kalos, I mean, come on, guys. Get it together.
Get it together, guys. Come on.
Not a damn thing from either of them. Alola, on the other hand, Alola very much does. They say, this set of triplets moves cooperatively.
Yes.
It's the power of teamwork that enables this Pokemon to dig to a depth of 60 miles.
Okay.
Yeah. So again,
Power of teamwork.
Power of love, power of teamwork, friendship, all those. Yep. Sure.
Despite the closeness between this Pokemon and farmers and other people, okay, no one has ever seen the parts of it concealed underground.
Yeah, I mean, that's same thing we knew about Diglett, too.
Yeah, but, like, why? Like, why? Why don't we know what it looks like underground?
Privacy, okay? Doesn't want to be seen.
Respect the Dugtrio's privacy.
I'm just saying, as a scientist, we can definitely figure out a way to see what's underneath the ground of a Dugtrio.
Sure.
What Dugtrio hides, right? Because, like,
I'm just
saying, I don't want to get morbid here, but, like, what's stopping us from dissecting a dead Dugtrio?
I mean, that's true. That's a good point.
We could just take up a Dugtrio, and, like, we know how much Dugtrio weighs. We know how much Diglett weighs. How would we know that? How can we possibly know how much it weighs without knowing what's underneath?
It's an educated guess based on how big its head is.
Okay, so we don't actually know how much it weighs. We're just saying,
yeah,
all
it's
right,
a guess.
Based on the density of its head,
Yep.
and how quickly it moves, we can determine.
There's a little squiggly thing next to the number.
If a Dugtrio has a density of this much and it leaves a station at 60 miles per hour,
yes,
how much does it weigh?
Yes, exactly. Thank you. I'm glad you get it.
Okay. While the three of them normally get along, the three Digletts that make up the Dugtrio.
Yes.
While the three of them normally get along splendidly, on rare occasions, a huge fight will break out over which head gets to eat first.
Woo! Fun. That's like me at Thanksgiving.
Now, when you say which head, you mean which Diglett, right?
Yeah, right. It's not like they're all, I mean, hey, Curtis, they could all be conjoined at the bottom because, again, we don't know.
We
don't know what they look like.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All 9 of them could be conjoined.
Yes, they could all
be
conjoined.
3.
There's only 3, not 9. He tried to sneak it past me. I'm glad you were paying attention there, Corbin.
That's why I'm here.
That's why I keep you around.
That's right. I'm glad.
Okay. Last one. No, wait, sorry, there's 2 more here. Dugtrio's heads are sleek and smooth and incredibly hard. It can dig through any soil with its headbutts.
Yeah.
Right. It's headbutting through the ground. That seems like a bad way to do it, but I mean, I can't dig at 60 miles per hour, so what do I know?
Yeah, you can't. Work on that.
The last one from the Alola region says, a team of triplets that can burrow to a depth of 60 miles. It's reported that this triggers an earthquake.
Oh.
Or as we said here in the Kanto region, we think it's an earthquake. Some people
we don't know.
Think it may be an earthquake.
Exactly.
All right, Galar. The Galar is just repeats of what we already have, so we don't need to read that. So let me go ahead and read some unique Pokedex entries. This first one here is probably my favorite Pokedex entry ever.
No way.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
Okay.
It comes to us from Ash's Pokedex, and we all know that Ash's Pokedex sometimes likes to mess around with him.
A little bit.
So this one's... Get ready. This one says, Dugtrio, the evolved form of Diglett. No specific information available.
Oh, okay.
We don't... Sure. But sorry, this Pokedex doesn't know a damn thing about Dugtrio.
Okay, I mean, that's fair. Sure.
Yeah, so
sucks.
Great work. I don't know why Ash got a Pokedex that wasn't loaded with any information on Dugtrio besides that it was in fact the evolved form of Diglett.
Wow, that's pretty pathetic if I'm being honest.
Yeah. All right, this next one's a little bit more insightful. Also, again, it comes to us from Ash's Pokedex. I think this might be a different Pokedex because it seems to know a bit more. It says, Dugtrio formed... However, I think it's wrong. It says, formed when 3 Diglett combine.
Ooh.
This Pokemon is able to tunnel deep beneath the Earth's surface. That part's fine. The first part, though, formed when 3 Diglett combine, in the Hoenn region, they say kind of like the complete opposite of that. It says that it's one Diglett that clones itself into 2 other Digletts to make a Dugtrio.
Yeah, this is saying other ones are now combined, so I don't know about that.
It really doesn't make any sense. All right, there's one more here about Dugtrio, one more unique Pokedex entry. It says Dugtrio, the Mole Pokemon, a ground type, and the evolved form of Diglett. These three make an excellent team. When Dugtrio moves through the soil becomes extremely aerated, which is excellent for farming. It has been reported to be quite useful for agriculture.
Cool.
Just like Diglett.
Yeah.
So that does it for the Cantonian Dugtrio. But
I'm sorry, the Cantonian. Are you saying there's another type?
Well, yes. I mean, there is an Alolan Diglett, so I think it would stand to reason that there is in fact an Alolan Dugtrio.
No.
So, yes. Let me go ahead and read those entries now.
You should do that.
Time to call Professor Palm.
No, we're not calling. We can't call Professor Palm every time there's a regional variant. All right.
No.
He doesn't have the time nor the will.
He is very busy. Busier than the professor will ever be.
All right, so the first one's come to us appropriately from the Alolan region. The first one here says, its shining gold hair provides it with protection. It's reputed that keeping... Wait, it's reputed?
Reputed?
Is it the right word?
I think that the word would be reported.
I think it's supposed to be reported.
It's reputed that keeping any of its fallen hairs will bring bad luck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Bad luck.
Yeah. So don't grab its hair, because it somehow fell out of its head, I guess. Even though I guess I didn't really show an Alolan Dugtrio, but it looks exactly the same as a Cantonian Dugtrio, except it's a little bit more tan, and it has like really long blonde hair that kind of just looks like a helmet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or whiskers.
I would not say whiskers, but I guess,
okay.
I may be wrong. These Pokemon are cherished in the Alola region, where they are thought to be feminine deities of the land incarnate.
Ooh.
So, they love their deities over in the Alola region. Now, I don't know what about Dugtrio makes it feminine. But I guess to people in the Alola region,
I don't know. Like, I guess the hairs make it look feminine. I don't know.
I guess so.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess this have nice, long, pretty hair. You know what? I'll give it to you, Alola.
But that's like saying that men can't have nice, long, beautiful golden hair.
Well, they can't. Have you ever seen a dude with nice, long, beautiful golden hair?
I mean,
you don't know. You, Mr. Curtis, you are completely bald.
Mr. Curtis.
Hey.
You have little sprigs of hair, but you are mostly bald. I'm sorry.
I once had long, shining golden.
How can we know that?
Hair. And I lost it. I guess too much exposure.
Yeah, he lost it in a bet, unfortunately.
That sucks.
Right.
That's a shame.
He had to give all of his hair away.
What a shame.
Because he lost the bet. Mm-hmm. All right, the next one here says, its metallic whiskers, it does say whiskers here.
Told you.
Its metallic whiskers are heavy, so it's not very fast, but it has the power to dig through bedrock. Now, is bedrock lower than the mantle, or is that like in the mantle?
Listen to me, I'm not a geologist, okay?
I mean, me neither, that's why I'm
bedrock is in the crust, I would think.
Well, then that doesn't make it special, because Dugtrio can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Get your shit together.
Nobody. You're just what? Just a slow Dugtrio, Alolan Dugtrio. You're just slow.
That's rude. Well, it's more powerful though. It's got steel. It's stronger.
Well, but nothing here proves to me that it's more powerful. It just says that it has the power to dig through bedrock, but
it's sturdier.
All right, whatever. All right, its shining gold whiskers are advanced sensors that can detect vibrations from sounds several miles away. Very similar to the Alolan Diglett.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Okay. They are referred to as triplets, but they are not identical. The metallic elements in their bodies differ slightly. The proof shows in their whiskers. So, this is interesting. The actual chemical makeup of these three Dugtrio, these Digletts
slightly
that form,
different.
Is slightly different.
So the Cantonian version is figured to be triplets, but because the metallic makeup inside of its body, people think they aren't triplets in Alola. So make it make sense.
I mean, they're literally clones of each other, so I don't know how that would even happen.
I don't know either.
I mean, even identical twins can have differences.
True.
But they're not. They're clones. That's what they said in the Hoenn region.
But maybe the one thing you can't fully clone is metallic makeup inside your body. I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense. All right, let's move on to the Galar region.
Can you say it's epigenetics?
Yes.
Is it? I don't know. See, I never know when Mr. Curtis is saying a word that I don't know, or he's just saying a word that I do know incorrectly.
I don't know. It's always a toss up with Curtis.
Yeah. All right. The Galar region says that the Alolan Dugtrio. It says that their beautiful metallic whiskers. Again, it says whiskers. It's not. They're not whiskers.
Told you.
I
told you. I was confused too. It looks like hair to me, but it's saying whiskers.
Create a sort of protective helmet on their heads, and they also function as highly precise sensors. And the last one says the three of them get along very well. Through their formidable teamwork, they defeat powerful opponents.
Yes.
All right.
By headbutting, I assume?
I mean, that is their main form. And also creating giant earthquakes. There is one unique Pokedex entry here. It comes to us from a Rotom Pokedex. Doesn't say who it belongs to. It says Dugtrio, Alola form. The Mole Pokémon, a ground and steel type. They were revered in Alola as the reincarnation of a planet guardian and its siblings. Its golden hair provides protection.
Siblings now, okay, not just clones.
And also planet guardian instead of what did they say in Alola?
Look,
feminine deities of the land incarnate.
If I want my planet guarded by something, it's not going to be a dumpy looking, funky looking hairdo turd Pokemon like Dugtrio.
Hey,
they have beautiful hair. What are you talking about? It's so shiny and golden.
I know, but they just look a little silly, like an '80s hairband, if you will.
They do kind of look a little silly. It's like you put like a wig on a corn dog.
Yeah, a wig on a piece of poop or something.
I guess I wouldn't have gone that way, but I suppose.
Come on,
that does it for all the Pokedex entries. So here I would normally read an unsourced, uncredited article, but instead I'm gonna let my student here, Corbin, go ahead and take the reins and read me an essay that he has written for us.
Well, guess what? This is sourced
excited.
It's credited by your boy, so no need to worry about fact checking because it's all facts.
I'm taking notes. I'm ready.
All right. Well, I expect a full annotated bibliography.
Are we ready?
Leave, then.
We ready to rock? Okay, here we go.
I'm always ready.
Here's my essay.
I'm ready.
Dugtrio kind of sucks. No, I'm just kidding. That's not it. Dugtrio is essentially three Digletts just kind of hanging out together. They're not fused together. It's not a three-headed, fully evolved Pokemon. It's a triplet of Digletts resulting from a single Diglett splitting into two more identical copies during evolution. These three Digletts are strong enough to trigger earthquakes while burrowing underneath the ground, traveling at 60 miles per hour. Also, Dugtrio is capable of traveling underground to a depth of over 60 miles. The triplet, turd-shaped heads are constantly moving in order to loosen up the soil, which makes digging easier. While these three Diglett heads mostly cooperate when it's feeding time, they will occasionally fight over who gets to eat first. And like Diglett, no one has ever seen a Dugtrio's body, since it's literally just three Diglett bodies hanging out together. Like Diglett, since it's again just three of them, Dugtrio has an Alolan variant. The Alolan variant looks similar to the Cantonian Dugtrio, except it ain't bald. It has glossy, shining gold hair/whiskers that provide extra protection on its heads and act as sensors for vibrations that are detected miles away underground. These hairs are held in such high esteem that many in Alola believe Dugtrio to be feminine deities of the land incarnate, and that if any of the hairs fall from its heads, bad luck will come. It's also worth noting that the Alolan variant is said not to actually be identical triplets, but their metallic whiskers differ slightly from each head, making them a bit different from one another. And like Diglett, since, again, it's just three of them, Dugtrio likes to live in caves and tunnels beneath the Earth's surface. And that's it. That's my essay.
Okay.
All right. Very, very well thought out. You had a lot of really good information there. And I think, now let me ask you, Corbin.
Yes.
Do you think that somebody could get a full and a working understanding of a Dugtrio just by reading your essay here?
I think anybody would get an understanding of Dugtrio by reading that. I think anybody
Mr.
would.
Mr. Curtis, what do you think?
I think it was pretty good. I wasn't sure about the whole bad luck thing. I distinctly remember you saying if somebody keeps a whisker that has fallen off their head, it's bad luck. Not just that if it falls off, it's bad luck.
But one of the sources I read said if it falls off, it's bad luck.
Well, it does say here in the Alolan entry that it is reputed that keeping any of its fallen hairs will bring bad luck. So it's the act of keeping it.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Does bad luck.
Potato, potato, you know?
Yeah, I figured that was close enough. He got the whole, whisker falling off thing. So I was happy to take that.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you did a very good job, and I think you decided to go with the route of believing that it's one Diglett that then, through evolution, clones itself into two more Digletts, therefore forming a Dugtrio, a trio of Digletts. And you also decided to say that they are three separate beings, and that you know for a fact they are not conjoined underneath the ground.
That's how it sounds. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Sounds like a lot of certainty, if I may say.
I mean, we have absolutely no idea.
What can I say?
What they look like.
I'm a certain guy. I know it.
I mean, I'm kind of nitpicking here, but I think all in all, this is a very excellent essay.
Thank you.
Corbin. You did a very, very good job, and I think I'm going to give you 15 points for Professor Jacob's classroom.
All right,
house cup.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Thank you.
Yeah, I should really start writing these down somewhere so I can know.
You probably should.
What the scores are.
That's okay.
I just know that Curtis is just barely scraping by in the lead.
I've been writing. I've been writing my points down on my.
I'm just shy of 20,000 now. I think.
Yeah.
Right? It's 19.
I think
plus,
you're giving yourself
pretty close to 20,000 now.
And I think adding the 15 that I just gave Corbin is at about 15.
Something like that. Yeah, that or 20.
So he's getting there.
He's very close.
I mean, he's on the board.
I'm getting there.
That's what's important.
All right. Hey, who's ready for a pop quiz?
Me.
Oh,
for once.
I'm so excited. I'm ready.
For once,
All
I'm
right.
ready.
Go ahead. Put away your Pokedexes. Go put away your notes. This is a closed note test.
Put them away.
Take out your pens and pencils and rulers and calculators and anything that you think you might need.
Yes.
And just let me know when you guys are ready, and I'll start laying it out for you.
I'm ready for you.
I'm ready to rock. I'm
always
ready to
for
roll.
you.
All right, let's get started. Question number 1: How does Dugtrio dig through the ground? All right, all of the answers are in. Let me read Corbin's first. Corbin says it digs by pushing its heads, bobbing them up and down to loosen the soil and headbutt the earth. And Mr. Curtis responded with, Dugtrio digs by bobbing its heads up and down separately to loosen the soil, making it easier to dig along. Interesting. The answer that I was looking for was teamwork.
Come on.
So you're both getting zeros for this one.
Get out of here.
It is teamwork that powers. It makes the dream work, if you will.
No.
Professor.
You're
so,
joking.
yes. Curtis, Mr. Curtis, your answer was a little bit sparse in that it does use its head up and down to loosen the soil to make it easier to dig along, but that's not necessarily how it digs.
It digs pushing its head. Mr. Curtis. I'm very sorry.
Does bob with his head.
Off, Mr. Curtis. I'm sorry.
I mean, if the professor said teamwork was key, then I guess that's a 0 for both of us.
Very sorry.
No, the real answer that I was looking for was headbutting the ground, and I believe Corbin's answer he does literally say headbutt the earth. So Corbin, you get full points. Curtis,
half points.
Curtis, you are getting half points for this.
Very
sorry. I
I
hate to do it, but you are getting half points.
You had to do it. You hate to do it, but you had to do it.
I hate to, but I had to. All right, question number 2. What is the ideal depth for Dugtrio to cause earthquakes, and how long would it take for a Dugtrio traveling at top speed to get there? All right, so I'm expecting, since I took points off for Mr. Curtis on that last one, I'm expecting extremely long-winded answer. Now, Mr. Curtis, be very careful here. Don't give me more than one answer. All right, if you give me multiple answers, I will count that as wrong, regardless of whether or not one of those answers is correct. All right, both of the answers are in. Of course, starting with Corbin's, he says that a Dugtrio can that will dig to 60 miles under the ground. Well, he doesn't say under the ground, but you know what? That is in the question. That says
it is.
What is the ideal depth? So you know what? That's fine. He says 60 miles, and then he says, and 1 hour is how long it will take for it to get there. All right. Mr. Curtis responded with the the idea depth for Dugtrio's earthquake shenanigans is 60 miles down.
It's wrong.
And at top speed, it would take it 1 hour to get there.
It's wrong. I don't know what an idea depth is. I don't know. that answer leaves more questions. So I don't know.
That's the ideal depth.
Take it off.
Yeah, that's a simple typo. That's fine. You both get full marks for this one. So yes, it's as it said about 100 different times in the Pokedex entries that a Dugtrio will dig 60 miles underground, and since it can burrow at 60 miles per hour, it would take it approximately 1 hour to get to that depth.
Yes.
So if you think about that, so you're in a Pokemon battle, right? And you're battling against a Dugtrio, and the trainer of the Dugtrio says, "Dugtrio, use Earthquake." You know you got about a good hour before you're gonna
got an hour.
see that earthquake.
It's like, all right, everybody, take out your lunch.
Yeah.
Pop a squat.
All
right,
yeah, it's like, oh well, I can't get to it.
Well, it says
so
it can travel 60 miles an hour to create an earthquake. So as long as it can go from 0 to 60 in a couple seconds, it's got an earthquake there.
No, it's not. It's not that it's moving at 60 miles per hour. It's that it.
Yes, it is.
Goes underground. It burrows.
It moves at 60
miles.
It does move at 60 miles an hour, and that's what causes an earthquake.
Corbin, are you arguing with the professor right now?
I'm arguing based off of what research I've done in the Pokemon.
He's trying to beat me using facts and logic, but it's not correct because it says, yes, Corbin, you are right in that it can move 60 miles per hour, but it's the fact of how deep it is where it triggers the huge earthquakes.
Okay. Next one.
The only time where it doesn't mention that it goes 60 miles per hour or 60 miles under the ground to trigger an earthquake is the one where it also says, due to this, some people think it's an earthquake.
Right. Okay, fine. Next question.
All right. This is a true or false one, so this should be quick and easy.
True and false.
Right, Curtis?
Let's go.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's one word. All you need. While Alolan Dugtrio's golden hair is primarily for protection, they can also be used as sensors. True or false? All right, both of the answers are in. Corbin responded with true, and Mr. Curtis responded with the answer to this question that you have so graciously given use of course. Wait, what?
Just, God damn it, Curtis.
Given us, of course. Yeah, the answer to this question that you have so graciously given us is
you said use. True. It's USE.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Curtis, just answer with one word. We're gonna be here all night.
The answer to this question they have so graciously given use, of course, true. So I'm guessing his answer is true.
Spelling. From now on, if you answer more than just one word for true and false, you get it wrong.
You don't get to mandate things, Mr.
I don't date anyone because I'm 10.
And you're also not a man, so you're not mandating.
Right. Not yet.
All right, so you both got that one right. I would expect nothing less. That was a very, very easy question. Question number 4. You see a Dugtrio above ground repeatedly bobbing its head. Why is it doing this?
Did we already answer this?
The first question was, how does a Dugtrio dig to the ground?
Oh.
You both gave me more information than was necessary.
Okay.
Both of the answers are locked in. Let's see what our good buddy, our good pal Corbin has to say. So the question, of course, was, you see a Dugtrio above ground repeatedly bobbing its head. Why is it doing this? Corbin responded with, it's doing it to loosen the soil. And Mr. Curtis responded with, Dugtrios bob their heads to loosen the soil around them, making it easier to dig. Yes, you are both correct. It's to loosen the soil.
Boom.
You did both kind of already give this answer before.
Yep.
Mr. Curtis incorrectly gave this answer the first time.
That's right.
But
what can I say? I remembered from the last time I took this class, I was just jumping the gun.
I know.
Well, then I jumped the gun as well then. So And I've never taken it
but
before.
you also gave a full, an actual answer, and that they headbutt the earth. This is how they do it.
That's true.
All right, that does it for today's quiz. You both did great, with the exception of Mr. Curtis, who could have done better. I can't tell if he's laughing or crying.
Yeah, we never know here.
It was really a terrible, horrendous noise.
Better luck next time. Can't always get in 100 like me. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's not look at the overall grades, because Mr. Curtis, you are quite far behind.
No, that's Corbin. Right. Yeah, he is far behind me. He is. You're right.
Everybody calm down.
Yeah, finish that. Mentally, he's much further behind me.
Corbin is much further behind
you were so
Mr.
far
Curtis.
behind me, I can't even see you. I'm so far ahead, I can't even smell you anymore.
I don't have the grades in front of me right now, but I believe Mr. Curtis has like a 98 and you have an 84 or
5.
something.
It was a 5, thank you.
85.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mr. Curtis, you are securely in the lead.
For now.
If that's what you're interested in.
For now. We'll see.
All right. Well, that does it for Diglett, but there's always another Pokemon. Does anybody know what Pokemon we'll be talking about next time?
Marowak.
No. You see, Marowak is the evolved form of Cubone, so we would definitely be talking about Cubone before we talk about Marowak.
Well, then it's Cubone, then, obviously.
Nope, it's not. It's not Cubone.
Oh, wait, are we talking about a fighting type?
No, I'm not.
Muck?
Mr. Curtis, would you happen to have a guess?
Just say it.
Okay, he's clearly inconsolable.
Is it
Just say it.
Please.
Is it the 9 Digletts together now?
No.
No.
Oh my god. Although that would be if I could say, that would be pretty fucking funny if that was the next evolved form.
It's Rattata.
No, we're learning about Meowth. All right, we're learning about Meowth, the Scratch Cat Pokemon. And so that's what our lesson will be focused on next time. But until then, if you have any questions for me, you can ask me them directly by sending me a Gmail, which is of course Gengar Mail.
Yes.
At wwopokemon@gmail.com. If you don't have a Gengar Mail, that's fine. You can also find me on the Flying Pokemon themed social network site, Twitter, at wwopokemon there as well. If you really, really like this lesson, and I mean, why would you not? This is just such an incredibly interesting Pokemon.
Indeed.
Feel free to give us a rating on Flapple Podcast, which of course used to be Sable iTunes, but we moved on to a different place now.
Yep.
Feel free to give us a rating there if the spirit moves you. But that does it for today's lesson. So until next time, class is dismissed.
Welcome to the World of Pokemon as part of the Pokecasters Network.